Evening, all Marcus here, back again with another video, back again with another Oculus video. And in this video I wanted to touch on all the new updates that are coming to the Oculus headsets in July. Kind of give you my kind of opinion on them, what I kind of think about them, and obviously pass on the information to you guys. This is one of my sort of 360 videos turned into a tiny planet and all that sort of good stuff, so maybe we can look around, we can have a little look at the swans and the cygnets over there. There's a boat over there, and we'll turn into a tiny planet, and I like to walk and talk with this camera. So if you just want to find all this information out for yourself, I'll leave a link to the Oculus blog post down below. You can just jump on it and have a little check of all the updates, the stuff that are coming. The first thing that's coming for the Oculus Quest is Oculus Venues. So it's an app that we've had on the Oculus Go for a long time. I think it pretty much was there from day one for the Oculus Go. And it's basically kind of like a live event app. So events like so the Oculus events in so towards the end of the year get posted on there, and you can watch them back in VR 180 with other people. So you have this huge sort of almost stadium where your Oculus avatar can kind of join. You can chat to people in the same sort of little section as you, and you can jump seats, talk to different people, go to a private sort of viewing if you want to, if you don't want to be kind of interrupted by other people, but you can watch various different things. So the Facebook event that was on a couple months back, that was on there. Quite often it has sort of comedy nights and sort of football events and all that sort of stuff. So I believe it kicks off with the Liverpool game, which is on tonight. So you may see it in time for this video or after, but make sure you do give it a download. All I would say is with Oculus Venues is it is very cool, it is awesome, and it's definitely worth checking out. But some of the things are sort of region locked, so you can't sort of view them. So you have to kind of see. If something's at a weird time for you in your sort of area, then maybe it's going to be region locked and you won't get to see it. So quite a few times I've kind of tried to watch American things and haven't got them in the UK. Which is annoying sometimes, because that's usually sort of 3 o'clock in the morning for me, and I get to miss it, or I've stayed up to try and check it and it's not been very obvious. So I wonder if that'll be changed, but that's a very welcome update to the Oculus Quest. I think next we just need Oculus Room support, which is the kind of 4 people in your own sort of little room that you can kind of decorate, put photos up and play lots of mini games. That's not coming yet, that's not been confirmed, but that'd be pretty cool if we do get that at some point. So the next change is specifically for the Oculus Quest. I'm going to kind of read through the post here. So Guardian gets upgrades on Oculus Quest. With no external sensors, no wires and no need for a PC, it's easy to get started on Quest, and we designed our Guardian system to be as simple as possible. Just put on the headset, follow the prompts and draw your play area and keep yourself safe in VR. Today we're beginning to roll out changes to make Guardian even more accurate and flexible to better fit your needs. So with this update, Guardian is now better at automatically recognizing multiple play spaces in different rooms, making it easy to go from family game night in the living room to more intense multiplayer sessions in your dream VR space. We've also added support for multiple Guardian setups in the same room, so you can designate multiple play areas in an oversized room to make the most of your open floor plan. So for me that's quite good, because quite often I'll play sitting down at my kind of table for videos or something like that, but then if I've got a bit more room, I want a bit more space, I move into the middle of the living room, so that's quite good. At the moment I kind of have to keep resetting it each time for which area of the room I want to play in, so that's nice, I like that. Need to reset your floor height, play space boundaries too sensitive? You can now make these changes without resetting from scratch. Instead, just make adjustments right from your Guardian settings page, which is nice. So rather than having to set up your whole sort of space, redraw the whole thing, if it feels like it's going a bit wonky, or you want to kind of expand it, make it smaller, sort of, as I said, reset the floor, you can do that right from within sort of the settings for the Guardian system, which is good, because at the moment you have to kind of start from scratch. So nice. It is a nice evening here. I do like this kind of walk along the canal, I do. So we'll definitely do more of these, but let me know what you think about these type of videos. But next up is Touch Ups. Controller tracking improvements on Rift S and Oculus Quest. So we fine-tuned our Oculus Touch controller tracking algorithms to improve accuracy for certain poses, like when your hands are close to the headset or angled away from it. That means you should see smoother tracking and fewer errors on both Quest and Rift S. So I found it, I think, with sometimes playing sort of Beat Saber, I swear I swing it in a certain way and it doesn't get tracked, but because you can so sort of crazy with it. You're not sure whether it's the game or you, so that's quite nice. And obviously sometimes you've probably experienced yourself putting the controls too close to your head and it goes a little bit wonky. So whether that's actually better tracking or better sort of algorithm that kind of figures that sort of stuff out when it kind of goes out of you, it seems to be the case. And you know, welcome changes. If it makes the thing better, then all the better for it. We've got some cyclists coming up behind me. See how much I can get through here. We're going to now run on to some of the changes here for Rift S. Quick one is the Rift S Pass-Through Plus. So if you didn't know, with the Quest and the Rift S, you can enable sort of a pass-through mode that allows you to look through the cameras on the headset. Now with the Quest, it's not right. They don't allow you to kind of do much with it. But with Rift S, you actually enable it, well, you know, as much as you want, sort of thing. And in the past, it actually did have a little bit of a time limit on it, and now they're going to remove that, and you can do full pass-through in 3D as much as you like for as long as you like. So if you want to live your life in a kind of black and white VR world, you can do, which is nice. There's various other changes to the sort of new home for Rift platform, but we won't go into those. If you want to kind of see those, you can check out the blog post yourself. So I've just moved on to the patch notes here for Quest and Gear VR and Oculus Go. And these changes here, they say they'll be available from the week 22nd of July. So this week that we're in at the moment, you should start seeing these updates hit your sort of headsets. There's no way of kind of forcing these updates and these changes to come to your headset. You kind of got to wait for them. Sometimes resetting up your headset via the app can initiate a update, but I've already tried that on my Quest and it didn't work, so I've not seen the updates there. But here's what you should expect. Quest Go Gear VR. VR settings. We've enhanced the overall audio experience and added the ability to enable or disable your microphone in VR. So at the moment, if you're in certain apps, multiplayer or whatever, you've got to, you know, by the app standard, by the app's settings, turn your microphone on and off. So now that's going to be part of a sort of a system-wide thing, so you can disable and enable it if you never want to talk. You know, some people don't, so that's quite nice. We've added a search bar throughout your VR experience, so you can always find the content you're looking for. So at the moment, the search bar is only sort of on the main page on the right, so now they're going to add it everywhere, so you can easily search for stuff when you're sort of deep in other apps and stuff. That's quite nice. And you can now opt in to new features they're testing, so such as Bluetooth keyboard. So there's a Bluetooth keyboard that's going to be under experiments on the Oculus Quest and on the Oculus headsets that you can pair them to via the apps and via the headset itself, which you can't do at the moment. So we can do, but it's a bit of a hacky backslash way. But this way you'll be able to do it officially. But you've got to kind of, because it's kind of experimental, which is funny because I know that Oculus didn't like desktop VR being on there with Steam VR support because it was experimental, but now they've got their own platform here and their own sort of opt-in thing for experimental stuff. So, so if you opt into it, you kind of understand that, you know, it could be a little bit broken, there could be some issues with it, bear with it sort of thing. So it's up to you to opt in to kind of do. But it's nice because we get some new features, some of the things maybe we've been asking for, and it gives them the chance to kind of test it en masse, which I think has been a bit of an issue and a concern for them when they don't want to do certain things because they're not sure how it's going to react, how it's going to be, and all that sort of stuff. So this way, at least they can kind of test these new features, these new changes, and it'd be interesting to kind of keep an eye on it and see what we get in the future. Guardian Quest, Guardian system even for the Quest. So they've improved the overall performance. If you kind of find that your boundaries are too sensitive, you can adjust them in the Guardian settings page. As I said before, you can adjust your sort of floor height and stuff from inside without resetting the whole thing, and you can have multiple Guardians per room. It says, we're touching on the sort of keyboard thing here, it does say you can now use Bluetooth keyboards and gamepads to type and navigate in VR. You can find pairing options for your Bluetooth device in your headset setting menu under experiments. So at the moment, if you wanted to pair a gamepad, you need to do it via the app, which is fine, it works quite well, but being able to pair them now via the headset itself, nice. So we look forward to that feature. That makes just life just a little bit more easy, less reliance on the app, because the app is great, but you know, at the end of the day, the less, you know, the more time you can spend even inside VR, the better. the store. We've updated the look and feel of the Oculus Store for Go and Gear VR. So I imagine they're going to make it look a little bit more like the Quest one. So I'll switch some things around, move some things around. So yeah, that's all nice. Make it easy to find your apps. You can now filter better. And if you're interested in the app but not ready to purchase, you can save it to your wish list for later, which is great. So that's kind of a weird feature for the Oculus Go, at least. That's been in and out all over the place since the Quest and the Go got released. You'd find it at one point it was Android only, and then it was iOS, and then it disappeared on iOS. So it's nice now that if somebody suggested an app for you, you can add it to your sort of wish list, and it'll let you know when it's on sale and all that sort of good stuff, and you can kind of check out your wish list if you find yourself with some extra pennies and you want to pick something up. So that's quite nice. It says here, feed. We want to make sure that your Oculus experience is made just for you. To do that, we've added the following new features to customize your feed in both VR and the Oculus mobile app. Follow your favorite games, developers and genres, so you'll be notified when there's something new, which is nice. So if you follow sort of the developers of Beat Saber and they release a new game, or maybe an update to their game, you'll get notified when that happens, sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. Let us know if you liked or disliked an app when you're done using it, so we can recommend next. So I maybe keep an eye on that one. So hopefully it doesn't sort of jump up with a "did you like this" at the end of every sort of play session for every app you play, but we'll have a look to see what that actually turns out to be. And hide things from your feed that you don't want to see again. So if you see something inappropriate or something that totally doesn't interest you, disable it, and then hopefully you won't see it again. Headset setup for the Quest. We've updated the experience for adjusting the fit and improving the focus and clarity of your headset. So I've got a video that's got quite a few thousand views on it, which shows you how to kind of properly adjust your Quest headset and put it on, because there are some sort of guides when you set up your Quest that go through that whole process, but a lot of people skip forward because they're so excited to play it, they just jump ahead and kind of miss that. So my video has been quite sort of popular, so that's quite good that maybe sort of put a bit more emphasis on that, because I think it does make or break the experience. If the headset doesn't feel right, if it's uncomfortable, absolutely it's going to sort of make things worse. So you want to make sort of people's sort of experience with it nicer. So that's good, that'd be a bit more obvious. And you can now auto pair your headset from the Oculus mobile app if it's detected nearby. So at the moment, you open the app, you have to kind of go into settings and connect to your headset. Now it's going to do that automatically if it senses it nearby, because it says that it knows it's nearby anyway. So why not automatically do it and have that there, sort of thing, have it automatically connected. So that's kind of quite good. So if you're trying to sort of faff around and change settings on your headset remotely or download apps to it, because you can do that from the mobile app, you can initiate downloads. It's a bit more sort of a streamlined process. Next thing on this list is touch controllers for the Quest. So they're making improvements, like we've said before, helping make it so when you put the controllers close to your head or weird angles, that I guess it'll track a little bit better. Hopefully with things like gun stocks, when one controller is in front of the other, blocking one of the controllers, maybe there's something there. We'll have to kind of test it once all these updates hit. So let me know in the comments down below if you've got a gun stock and you've tested it. I don't own one myself, but if you've played Pavlov with a gun stock and it now works nicely, let me know. Various other things: reduced reacquisition time when the control tracking is lost. That's nice. So if you do kind of put it behind you and bring the controller forward, it quickly grabs onto it. And using sort of Bluetooth keyboards and stuff is in there. Oh, and you can now use both controllers to input letters into the keyboard. So the on-screen keyboard that comes up, you used to have to do it one sort of click at a time with one controller. Now you can use two at the same time, so you have two fingers pressing buttons on the keyboard, which is quite cool. And then it says profile. We've made enhancements that make it easier to update and edit your Oculus avatar, which is good, because I think for that you've had to download the PC software for Oculus to be able to update your Oculus avatar, or there was some sort of stipulation where it just made a bit of a faff. So if that's now built into the headset under your profile, awesome. And notifications, you can now receive notifications in VR and in the Oculus app on your phone when an event you are interested in is starting. So that's quite good. So that's all of the patch notes for the Quest, Go and Gear VR Build 7.0 release notes, which is nice. We've not usually had patch notes or release notes. We've kind of had to wing it and prayer it and figure it all out ourselves to find out what's changed and stuff. So the fact that Oculus is now with the Quest, I guess, been encouraged to release patch notes are pretty cool, so it's nice to see. There's one other thing I want to cover in this video, and that's something that John Carmack, the CEO of Oculus, has kind of come out and confirmed, is sort of backwards compatibility with the Oculus Go. So the Oculus Go has thousands of experiences on it, and I think the Oculus Quest is kind of, you know, let's just say lacking. If you're new to the Quest, then you'll probably feel like there's loads of content. But if you've already been in the Oculus sort of ecosystem and you've played them on the Rift or the Go or whatever, it can maybe feel there isn't that many titles on there. So it sounds like by the end of the year, they're going to add Oculus Go Compatibility. So it says here on Twitter, Go emulation is coming to Quest later this year by way of a compatibility layer that makes Quest report as a Go and emulate the Go controller for old apps. We'll be working with developers to test against the emulator, but I hope some will be inspired enough to convert older apps to proper hybrid Go Quest apps with explicit support. Not everything works, but many old apps do magically get 6DoF headset and control tracking, as well as higher resolution and frame rate. So this is fun to dig through some old favourites. So if you've probably been watching my channel, chances are you've been using SideQuest on your Oculus Quest to sideload some apps that are not on the Oculus Quest, and some of those apps that we've been sideloading are Oculus Go native apps. So there's one in particular that kind of comes to mind, which is Altspace. So it's like a VR chat type thing that's on the Oculus Go. It's very popular on the Oculus Go, and if you kind of take that inside Quest, it's in there inside Quest at the moment, and load that to your Quest, you instantly get 6 degrees of freedom, dual controllers with 6 degrees of freedom with those as well. So that's pretty cool. So this kind of goes to show that that app was never created for the Oculus Quest in mind, but it automatically has that kind of feature in there. They just work. Some Go apps, if you kind of sideload them to your Quest, just don't work at all. There's some issues, they don't load, but maybe this kind of compatibility sort of layer will enable that. Maybe we'll get access to the Quest, the Go store even, and just like be able to grab any purchases we've done there. Whether you still are in the sort of same sort of home environment and everything that you are on the Quest, or it kind of boots into kind of like a secondary environment, we won't know yet. I imagine that's something they're probably still working on. They're probably not sure exactly how they're going to set that up themselves, but it's interesting. It'll add a lot of new content to the Oculus Quest, give you guys a lot of new stuff to kind of get involved in. There is so much free stuff on the Oculus Quest, and it sounds like, as we know, with the Oculus Quest, they're kind of shutting down the store. You've got to literally have one of the best games ever to get it actually on the store officially. So we're missing out on a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of fun stuff. So this kind of Quest route, this Go route even, it should be interesting because it is easier to get your game or experience on the Go than it is the Quest. People are publishing to the Go if they can't get on the Quest. So to now have access to those sort of things natively via this sort of emulation, which is funny they call it emulation because, as I say before, some of them just work, and with them being sort of Android, as long as they get through this kind of verification process when you boot it up, you know, one controller games usually work. There are a few games where you do need the touchpad on the Go to initiate something, and that doesn't work within the Quest, but you know, this is where this emulation comes in, so it'd be interesting to keep an eye on it. So good news all around, some new stuff, some new content, some new goodies for all of us. So this was quite a long walk, so I imagine it'd be quite a long video, but hopefully you found it interesting. You've heard some stuff in here, sort of my thoughts and opinions on all the different changes. As always, I'll be interested to know what your opinions on this are down below, so do sort of take a moment, leave a comment down below, let me know what you kind of think about these changes. Are they an improvement? Are they making things worse? Have you got any worries or concerns? And have you got these updates, specifically sort of the 7.0 updates? You know, does that make a difference to your experience? Does it make it better? Is it a step in the right direction? Let me know down below. But if you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. That's fine. I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it. But do let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like it. I'll try and do better next time. Become one of the Remarkables. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified when I next upload a video. And that's me done. I'm out. Have a virtual high five. And I'm knackered.